Hi there, I'm Michael Kane and welcome to another episode of Bodhi Talk, a channel dedicated to helping you open to life more fully. In today's video, we're going to explore and practice a simple but incredibly powerful tool called the vooooo sound, V-O-O, made popular by Dr. Peter Levine, the founder of Somatic experiencing. Listen, this is a great tool that works directly with your nervous system, especially the vagus nerve, to help you feel calmer, more grounded, and more connected to your body. I use this tool all the time with my clients to help connect to the body and sensations in a more pleasant and safe way. I also use it to help release areas of tension and to create more ease and regulation. So important to be able to come into the body and feel safe in the body. And the vooooo sound can really help us do this. So in this video, I'll be walking you through what the vooooo sound is and how it works, why it helps regulate the nervous system and activates the vagus nerve, and how to use it to create more ease and safety in your body, ways that we can use it in our life, the vooooo sound. And of course, I'm going to guide you through a practice so you can experience it for yourself. Okay, so before we begin, just a reminder that if you enjoy this video, please click the like button below. Please share the video with your friends. Also, if you have any questions or comments, please put those below. I'd love to hear from you about this video or any videos you'd like to have me create in the future that have to do with healing, trauma, developmental trauma, shock trauma, working with emotions, the nervous system, physiology, anything like that, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Also, if you'd like to know more about what I do here at Natural Bodhi Wellness, or know more about me, or if you'd like to book a session, you'll find information on my website. There's a link to my website below as well. So let's talk about the vooooo sound. What is the vooooo sound and how it works? Well, as I said earlier, it's a simple but powerful sound that creates a vibration and also creates a deep breath. Both of those help to create a lot of regulation and more pleasant sensations in the body. It's kind of like a foghorn sound that you might hear on a ship, right? A ship foghorn. It's a very deep kind of vibration. It's not about singing or sounding pretty. It really is, again, about the vibration and the breath itself. The vooooo sound was made popular, as I said earlier, by Peter Levine as a way to bring people into their bodies, especially after stress and trauma. Instead of talking about feelings, it gives the nervous system a direct, embodied experience of settling. Super, super important. We're going to talk about the body a little bit later, but super important to be able to feel safe and comfortable in the body. Rumi once said, "The legs hold up the heart." Super important to have the body. A lot of people, especially people that have experienced, or those of us that experienced trauma and stress, tend to get up here in our heads and we lose touch with the body. This is what's holding us up. Much more accurate as well in the body. So super important to be able to come into the body. The vooooo sound works on a few different levels. As we said, of course, vibration and the vagus nerve, right? The vagus nerve runs through from the brainstem down through the throat, the chest and lungs, and into the gut. The vooooo is a very parasympathetic experience, so rest and digest. It also helps you to feel safe. It creates a kind of, it basically says it's okay to settle, right? Okay to soften, okay to let go. And that's super important. So the vooooo has that effect on our physiology, on our nervous system. As I said earlier, it slows down our exhalation. So it creates a slowed, long exhalation, naturally lengthening our breath. Long exhales activate the parasympathetic. We know that, right? The parasympathetic calming branch of the nervous system, shifting us out of fight, flight, or freeze and into regulation. Super, super important. The other thing that happens with the vooooo is that, as we talked about earlier, it anchors us in the body. Like I said, many people who have experienced stress or trauma feel disconnected from their bodies, and the vibration of the vooooo gives a gentle, non-threatening way to feel the body again, not through pain or fear, but through pleasant sensations and resonance, right? Super, super important. Let's see, reversing the fear feedback loop. This is something that is super important. We know that when we feel fear or stress, a lot of times the body tightens, the breath gets shallow, and then the nervous system sends a message back to the brain. Hey, something's not right, something's wrong. We need to stay on high alert. We need to stay in hypervigilance, right? We need to stay on high alert. So this experience, this loop that we're calling the fear feedback loop, right? It creates this feedback loop that first creates fear, then the body tightens, especially the gut. The breath becomes more shallow, obsessive thinking starts to happen, and then, of course, more fear. And then it just keeps repeating, right? Fear, tight body, shallow breath, obsessive thinking, back to fear, and over again. And we can really get caught in this for a very long time. Some people live in this place of this fear feedback loop, right? The gut tightening and creating this kind of message constantly that it's not safe to be in the body or just be in the world, right? So we know that the vooooo sound can break that loop by vibrating the body, the vagus nerve, and lengthening the breath. And it sends a new signal to the gut and to the brain that, guess what? It's safe, right? It's okay to relax. And then what's cool about that is that over time, this kind of retrains the nervous system not to get stuck in that fear feedback loop, that fear cycle. This is why the vooooo sound is often used in therapy and self-regulation. I use it myself actually. I use it all the time, and I use it with my clients every day, honestly. It's a really great practice. Like I said earlier, it's simple, but it works deeply. So one of the other things that happens is it slows us down, right? It forces us to pause, to breathe, and to feel the present moment. That is super important. When we're lost in thought, when we're lost in rumination or worry, we create more and more stress, more and more overwhelm or shutdown, right? And so anytime that we can let go and come into the present moment, we're going to create more regulation. So even just that, focusing on the sound and the breath, will create more regulation through being in the present moment. With the vooooo sound, we also build capacity. If you haven't seen my video on building a larger window of tolerance, you can find that on my YouTube channel. Building a larger window of tolerance is like having more capacity. The larger my capacity, the more freedom I have. So with the vooooo sound, we build capacity to track sensations, usually pleasant, in the body, and be in the body in a safe way, right? It starts to feel like it's okay to come into the body, that this is a safe place to be. Sometimes, again, when we experience trauma or challenging experiences in the past, we may not want to be in the body, right? Because it's uncomfortable. And, you know, with the VOOO sound, this is an opportunity to feel something different, right? Which changes our relationship with our body and feeling. And of course, we get a different kind of feedback from the body, right? Instead of just thinking, we can feel pleasant changes in the body. And if we're going to have real healing and changes, it has to be through embodiment, right? The brain really changes through a different sense in the body, different feelings in the body. So in a way, it kind of allows us to reset, right? After a few rounds of VOOO, many people notice, you know, deeper breath, like a sigh that comes in, like a natural kind of spontaneous sigh, yawning, warmth or tingling. These are all signs that the nervous system is finding more balance, right? So how do we do this practice? How do we do the VOOO? Well, I'm going to walk us through a kind of guided practice. The first thing I like to do, as you know, if you've seen any of my other videos, I like to start with a little landing practice before we do any kind of practices. And just a simple one today, just taking a few moments to orient, right? Letting your eyes move around the room, noticing some things in the environment, some pleasant things in the environment that you can notice, shapes, colors, movement. So just taking a few moments to just check out the environment, right? This is a landing practice. You'll find a link to or a video about the landing practice also on my webpage if you want to get a little more in depth with that. All right. You might also begin to notice a couple of sounds. So orienting with your ears. Noticing a couple of sounds, letting the sounds come to you. Right, so we're orienting with our eyes. We're orienting with our ears. And maybe you can already notice that you're starting to settle a little bit, right? And you might notice that if you're sitting, you might notice your pelvis and your sit bones, just kind of feeling into that, feeling supported. You might notice your legs and your feet on the ground, just feeling that. If you're standing, you would just be noticing your legs and your feet. If you're leaning against something, you can kind of notice your back and your spine leaning against something. So, taking some time to do that, taking some time to ground a little bit. You don't always have to do the landing practice. If you feel like you're pretty regulated, you're pretty settled, it's okay. You don't necessarily need to do that. But for the video, I always like to do that. So once you feel like you're a bit more settled, not that we're trying to completely zen out or completely be relaxed, but you know, just a little bit more settled, then we'll talk a little bit about the VOOO sound and how to do that. So the first thing we want to do, and I'm going to talk about it first and then we'll do it together, right? So we want to take an easy, full breath into the belly, right? And then we want to make this VOOO sound. Again, it's like a foghorn sound, like a deep foghorn sound. And we want to make that VOOO sound until all of the air is gone, right? And then we want to wait until this natural full breath comes back in. And then we want to go ahead and do that again. So we're going to do the VOOO two different ways. We're going to do just one VOOO first, right? Breathe in, breathe out with the VOOO, and then we're going to just hang out and notice what that's like. And then we're going to do 3 VOOs, right? And it's a good idea if you've never done the VOOO before and you're not used to it. It's a good idea just to see how, you know, what kind of reaction you have to it. Most of the time, for most people, it's going to be a very pleasant experience. But you know, it could be different for you. So you want to do just one first and then kind of hang out and notice what that's like for you, and I'll guide us through that. And if it feels like it's okay, if it's a safe thing to do, then you can do the 3, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do just one. And oh, I forgot to mention that when we're doing the vooooo sound, we want to try to aim the vibration down into the gut as much as possible. That may be a little bit, you know, challenging in the beginning, but as you do it more and more, you'll find that you can get it deeper. You know, you're probably going to notice it in the throat, in the chest, and in the gut. So we want to try to kind of get it as deep as possible. And you can change the tone of the vooooo until you kind of feel it deeper in the body, okay? So we're going to do 1 right now, and then we'll just hang out and notice what that's like. All right, so we take an easy full breath in. And we're just going to hang out and notice. Right? What was that like for you to do it? What did you notice? And what are you noticing now? Really taking some time here, at least a minute or two, to just hang out, because all kinds of things can happen after we do the vooooo. Right? Noticing what happens next from the inside out. And just noticing, do you feel a little bit more present? You might notice feeling warmth, tingling, maybe a bit more grounded, maybe nothing at all actually, and that's perfectly fine. Sometimes it takes time for the nervous system to respond, right? But over time, as you do it more and more, or you kind of track, you might notice some of these things. What really matters is that you're practicing giving your body a chance to settle, right? And again, as we said earlier, this is, you know, there's no right way or wrong way to do this. It's really just whatever way works for you, right? All right, so let's go ahead and do, if you're okay with the 1 and it was fine for you, let's go ahead and do 3 voos, right? All right, so same thing, we're just going to do it 3 times. You know, as we voovoo and all the air, you know, disappears, you know, you're waiting until a natural breath comes back in, like a natural full breath comes back in, okay? So here we go. And again, just noticing what you feel sensation-wise. Maybe you notice you're a little bit more present. You might notice, again, feeling warmth, tingling, vibration, more flow, maybe a bit more grounded. Again, maybe nothing. That's okay as well. No feeling is still a feeling, right? And that's perfectly fine. Like I said earlier, sometimes it takes time for the nervous system to respond, right? So again, we want to take some time here, at least a minute, and just noticing what happens next, tracking pleasant sensations, all right, from the inside out, just tracking and following, being curious, not needing anything to be different. All right, well, how was that for you? Please let me know. I'd love to hear from you, how that went for you. What did you notice? Pleasant, unpleasant, neutral experiences. So just like we began, we want to orient a bit as we end this exercise, just kind of orienting again, noticing shapes, colors, things around you, orienting, right? Good. And then grounding a bit, noticing your pelvis, your legs and feet, landing, right? So of course you can continue to hang out with after you do the VOOO for as long as you want. And for the video, we're gonna kind of move on here. How do we integrate the VOOO into daily life? You can use the VOOO anytime you need it. There are all kinds of creative ways to use the VOOO. I even had someone recently tell me they used it on an airplane, which I don't know that I'd have the guts to do that, but they did the VOOO on the airplane. They said it was very helpful to help them deal with a little anxiety that they had about flying. You can do the VOOO before a stressful meeting, when you're feeling shut down or overwhelmed. The one thing I would say about when you're feeling super stressed and super overwhelmed is you want to do a landing practice or a containment exercise, which both of those you can find on my YouTube channel. But you want to do it, create a little settling before you jump into the VOOO sound. You don't always have to do that, but just if you're feeling super overwhelmed, good thing to kind of land and regulate a little bit before you do that. Let's see, after a hard conversation with your kids, your boss, your partner, your friends, somebody that you met at the store, whatever, it can be really helpful in the morning to start your day. It kind of creates a foundation of ease and regulation. I do meditation in the morning. Sometimes I actually do the VOOO. It's a great foundation. It really creates a way to move forward, a nice foundation for you. Or you can do it at the end of the day. It's also quite helpful. It helps to create more regulation, helps your body kind of shift down, shift gears so that you can sleep better. So you can also do it at night. So all kinds of different ways that you can use the VOOO. We've talked about the fear feedback loop in all kinds of different ways. So I hope that you'll take this practice and utilize it, play with it. Tell me how you use it and how it's helped you. So, again, the VOOO sound is super simple, but don't underestimate it. It's a powerful way to heal, and bring your nervous system back into regulation. Again, it helps to activate the vagus nerve and helps you gently reconnect with the body, right? It's so important to have this body below us, helping us to move through life, right? So I encourage you to experiment with the VOOO over the next week. Notice how your body responds, notice what shifts, and notice how much more ease you can carry into your day. That's super, super important. All right. So again, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button below. Please share the video. Any questions or comments, please put those below. Please subscribe to the channel. And again, if you'd like to know more about me or what I do here at Natural Brody Wellness, or you'd like to book a session, you will find a link to my website below. So I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you'll play with it a bit and see how it goes for you. And remember, your body knows how to find its way back to balance and healing, right? Sometimes it just needs a little help, right? A little vibrational help, right? So thanks again and stay safe. Thank you. Bye.